I'm live. I don't feel alive, Bills fans. I really don't. I really don't feel too alive after that one, boy. That was so bad. I don't know what the hell to make of that. On so many levels, it was so many different types of terrible. I mean, I can start with the obvious. Nathan Peterman. I could start with the defense allowing a big, long drive. I think it was a second and like 26 or something that they got converted into a first down. I could talk about, was it like 21 points just handed to the Ravens off of 2 turnovers and 1 botched punt. It was, I don't know how many different ways the Bills could have looked any worse than what they did today. They looked like a team that they were supposed to look like last year, a team that was tanking, a team that now has $55 million of dead cap. They look like a team that doesn't have that much. They don't look like they have that much talent on the field in a lot of different areas, in particularly the areas of the offensive line, particularly the areas of the skill positions. I mean, these receivers, again, I can go all over the place. It's hard to play defense when you know the only way you can win games is pitch shutouts. And this defense is already up against it. They have to or give up the whole, anywhere between 10 and 20 points and pray. But this offense, talking about an offense that I'm in awe of how bad they were. I mean, I'm in awe of how bad they were offensively. I mean, just when I think the Bills can't set offensive football back any further, I mean, we watch all over the league. You saw Flacco, and granted, the guy's a 10-year veteran. He's won a Super Bowl, but very easy pitch and catch. And we see, again, it is the hardest thing in the world for the Bills to just do. These receivers, I mean, I could go down the list. Starting with Kelvin Benjamin. He looked like he didn't look like he could have cared less out there. I mean, how many drop passes did this guy have today? Like 3. He had a touchdown from Allen there. That could have been, wouldn't have been much, but it would have been nice to get Allen his first touchdown. There was one other pass that he dropped Peterman through. I mean, I was going to, I'm going to come on to that later in the video every day. It's going to get to a point during the season. We're going to be in, mid-October. This team's going to potentially be looking to get like 3rd, 4th, 5th round picks for guys like Benjamin, guys like McCoy, guys like Hughes. Only tradable commodities on this team. I mean, they're going to go to a veteran like Kyle Williams and ask, do you want to go play meaningful football somewhere for the last potentially, and knowing Kyle, he won't. He'll want to stick it out with the Bills. It is game 1, but for them to look this bad, and this is the one problem I had in preseason, and it wasn't the offensive line, it wasn't the quarterback. It's just as a team, in every game that I saw, they were not ready to play right away. They weren't ready to play. I mean, collectively, they just weren't ready to play as a team. Yeah, he's another one that you could. Is it even on the team? Is he even on the team? But then again, how can we bitch about play calling? How can, when the quarterback is just so bad, guys? And this is what happens when you have, let's just say their offensive line, 2 of the components were out of their choosing. Wood and Incognito were not their choice. Glenn was. I'm okay with that. Dawkins played admirably last year. But when you have one of the proverbial three-headed monster quarterback competition, it never goes well. It never goes well because the reps are so limited nowadays. One, two, your offensive line can get no continuity because there's no contact. These guys can't practice playing offensive line because the rules prohibit them from it. And then you have a center battle. So you've got two different cadences from centers. You're replacing two guys who are your best two offensive linemen. You're trying to rep three quarterbacks. And this is what you get. This is what you get an offense that looks discombobulated. They look uncoordinated. There's no rhythm. There's nothing. They didn't get a first down. What am I talking? They did not get a first down until the second half. In the modern NFL, where it's set up for the offense to have a distinct advantage with the contact rules, with everything, holding, everything that's in place, this team still cannot get any traction offensively. None. It is mind-boggling how this could be. And the one guy, let's just be honest, the one guy this is all about, I don't blame him either, Trevor. I don't blame him. I don't blame Dable. What the hell did any of us just watch? Who could say, I don't know what the play calls were because what the fuck? The ball was snapped and it was just Peterman was supposed to be decisive. He was to have a quick release. He was supposed to be above average accuracy. I saw him double clutching onto the ball. I saw him, getting happy feet, inaccurate, extra zip on his passes. Where were they? And it goes to undermine or just fly in the face of that. All that preseason, it means nothing. It really means absolutely nothing. 80% complete. You know what? Every time we watch a preseason game, we just need to throw it out the window. Do you know why? Because thankfully, I was lucky enough to watch those, and I hate to bring them up, those early 90s Bills teams that were going to Super Bowls. And you know what I can tell you? This is one thing I remember about those teams. I remember a lot. This is one thing I remember. They didn't win a preseason game. They didn't win a preseason game. They really didn't care to win preseason games. They didn't. And they would go out and win 12, 11, 13 games in a regular season because they knew how good they were. And they knew that's what mattered most. They didn't care. But this group of players hasn't earned that cachet. And today, I said that Trevor, he does not look like – I don't know if he can slow roll this decision and wait till Wednesday, but I don't know how he gets up in front of that team, the fans. And when I say he gets up in front of the fans, gets up in front of the media, because that's the only way he really speaks to us is when he gets up in front of the media on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and talks and post game. That's the only time McDermott really speaks to us, the fans, is when he does that. I don't know how he can get up there with a straight face and says he needs to see what more he needs to see. This Peterman infatuation has gone well and beyond embarrassing because it's embarrassing. We already know it's a national embarrassment. It's embarrassed to us as fans because now we have to hear it from our friends and other people about this fucking guy again. This is the second time McDermott's put Peterman out there and endorsed him and put his name on him. And this is the second time equally as bad a return and fucking embarrassment of epic proportions. It's not like against. It was just equally as bad, in my opinion, as the Charger game. Equally as bad. He looked like, again, preseason, he looked like a guy they just signed. Like, remember back in 13 when the Bills had all those injuries and they had to sign to guys like Matt Leinart and Thad Lewis and all those guys. Thad Lewis never looked that bad. Thad fucking Lewis never looked that bad. I don't know. He might. He might be that bad because he was just god awful. God awful. I mean, he's embarrassed this organization terribly. And McDermott cannot allow him to go out there and do it a third time. He can't. He cannot do it. You can't stroll that guy out in your opener in front of your fans at New Airfield. You cannot do it. There's no way. And you lose credit. You can't go up in front of the team. You know, he had passes drop, but the when he goes back there and he lollipops balls that could potentially be intercepted, it's terrible. When he throws the ball 5 feet over some guy's head and it gets intercepted by Tony Jefferson, or he gives Brandon Carr a gift. He was not decisive. He was not accurate. He wasn't composed in the pocket. Allen at least gives you the mobility. He gives you the size. He gives you the arm strength. This is what this is about. If this is Allen, and let's just say he doesn't have a bad start. Let's just say Allen had a so-so start. Threw 1 touchdown, couple of picks, whatever. 55% completion. Oh, what? He's a rookie. This is about building him up, getting him better, getting him experience. We could all live with it. But this guy, a 5th-round pick with no discernible qualities or skills whatsoever. Okay, I get it. Played well in the right. Okay, it's done now. It's done. It's over. Okay, it's over. Forget the preseason. Forget all the command. No, it's done. The whole Nathan Peterman thing. It's over. We've seen enough. It's only gonna. This is what it is. He can go try to be a backup or whatever. You do not need to be wasting reps on this guy anymore. And that's the end of it. There does not need to be any more Nathan Peterman. I feel bad being so disparaging of the guy. This is about his play only. He looks like a good young man, the type of guy you'd want with your daughter, all that kind of stuff. Has that whole, up against it story from his time at Tennessee to Pitt. But, this is about wins and losses. This is production. And he's just not it. He makes Fitzpatrick look like a world beater. And boy, did he have a fucking big game today. But again, how long he been in the, 14-year veteran. Peterman, it's not like he brings a wealth of experience to the sport anyway, or to the position. So that's why don't need to put him out there again. He'll learn just as much sitting on the bench supposedly as Allen will. Allen's the one with the goods. He's the one we need to see. We need to usher on. Exactly. Chargers aren't even going to have Bosa this week. You're at home. Press the fucking reset button and go forward from there. You don't need to play this stupid game anymore about let's protect this kid. Protect him from what? Playing quarterback in the NFL? He's going to get hit. He's going to throw interceptions. Okay. So what? You want him to do it in practice where nobody else can see and nobody can count? And if his confidence is so weak that he can't withstand it in the real when the lights are on, then he's not the guy anyway. He's not it anyway. Then you learn about it early. You don't sit around and wait and waste time. You can't protect him. You can't put the kid in bubble wrap. There is no right or wrong time. You're going to have to put him out there anyway at some point, whether it was going to be, what was the line of the games he was supposed to play, like 13 games? Well, guess what? That got ratcheted up. And the way this team looks, they will be picking first in the upcoming draft. They will have and it's unfortunate because the top pick in this draft is, maybe it's not unfortunate. Maybe if it's Nick Bosa, but this team needs offense, but they can't pass up a pass rusher like that. And I'm already talking about the goddamn draft. I won't go that far, Corey. I won't go that far because Manuel was not a first-round talent, nor was Trent Edwards. Trent Edwards was a third-round pick, and EJ was a pick that they had to overdraft because there was no first-round quarterbacks in that draft. I'm not going to go that far. I felt Edmonds looked fine. He forced a fumble. He was running around making plays. He looked good in pass defense. He's a rookie. He's what they kept showing the graphic that he's the youngest linebacker to ever play in a game. He's the youngest linebacker to ever play in a game. What quarterback is ever put in an ideal situation? Can I tell you something? Aaron Rodgers, right? Sat for 3 years behind Brett Favre. It was Brett Favre. Did the Packers know Aaron Rodgers was going to be Aaron Rodgers? Answer yes or no in the chat. Yeah, he's a freak. They knew? Tanner, they knew? Did they know Aaron Rodgers was going to be Aaron Rodgers? Of course not. Do you know why? Their actions tell you why. They drafted Brian fucking Brom. They drafted, remember Brian Brom of Bills three-headed quarterback competition with Trent Edwards and Ryan Fitzpatrick? Yeah, they drafted Brian Brom in the second round that year and put him in a quarterback competition with a guy who had been in their system for 3 years. They had no idea what Aaron Rodgers was or wasn't until they put him out there and he played. So that fucking guy was there for 3 years developing and learning all that stuff, right? All those cliches. And they drafted a quarterback in the second round and put him in a quarterback competition with a guy who was there for 3 years, who's Aaron Rodgers, the highest paid quarterback in the NFL. They don't know. You know when you go out there. You know how you find out? Sam Rutigliano, a lot of you guys don't know who he is. He was the fucking Browns coach when they were good, okay? Back in the early 80s. Sam Rutigliano said this about quarterbacks. They're like tea bags. You only know about them until you put them in hot water. That's it. The only time you know about them. It's the only way you're going to know if they suck or they taste good. That's it. Sorry to get all philosophical about it, but I can't watch. Yeah, he didn't play well, but it's not like he didn't play well, Dave. He played fucking putrid. It wasn't like he sucked. He was so bad. He was so bad that he made Trent Edwards look good. That's how bad Nathan Peterman was today. Nathan Peterman made guys like Thad Lewis look like a world beater. He made EJ Manuel look good. He made Trent Edwards at his worst look good. But that's my point. He's a fifth-round pick. This is only this is his third start, and he's not finished any of them. He's been pulled from 2 and knocked out of 1. What more do we need to see? I'm not going to blow him for throwing a touchdown in a blizzard. No, it didn't. You either find out or you don't. That's my point. What are we scared of? Why are Bills fans is always afraid? Oh, we don't want to put him out there. We don't want to put him out there. It's not like everybody's offensive line is a world beater. The whole league has the same problem the Bills do. Go listen to every other team's fan base talk about their offensive line. They all say they suck. The Cowboys, who have 3 All-Pros on their offensive line, one is sick. They say they're a problem. So that's it. You can't. I don't know what Tanner, but you can't put Peterman out there a third time and have him embarrass you again. You can't do it, and then have to throw Allen in on a short week with half the reps again. That's just going to be terrible. How bad do they want to look on this? They got laughed at for starting him anyway. You know, granted, okay, it seemed like you could parlay that from the preseason. Okay, this is the process. Yes, we want to bring our young guy along. Yes, yes, yes. You can't do it. You can't put him out there in New Era Field. You cannot do it. That would be a bigger laughing stock if they started Nathan Peterman than today. It's like, how are they going to do this? And if he goes out there and returns the same or worse, could it get worse? Hell yeah. You know what? He can survive. He's a big boy. That's why you got the freak, right? That's why you got the 6'5", 240-pound stud, right? Big physical quarterback. He can't hand off 25 times a game. He can't run himself. Peterman doesn't offer you those things, that bouncing out of sacks and stuff like that. We saw Allen escape like 2 sacks today. He's supposed to. Oh, Mark, trust me, Benjamin looked like he was. You know what this team played like today? This team played like it was the last game of the year, and they were finishing out anywhere between a 3-13, 5-11 year, and they were disinterested, and they were just like, we're just going to go through them. That's what this game looked like. Instead of it being the opener where there's a lot of intensity and that there's at least some adrenaline going and they're playing with a lot of effort and stuff, they look like a group that it was the last game of the year. They all had blown their loads and we're just like, oh, we're tired, we're done, we're physically beat up, we're not going to the playoffs, and whatever. And that's what this group looked like. Me either, Trevor. If he plays, if he starts, I don't think I can watch it. I don't think I can watch it unless it's like that whole thing where it's the train wreck you just can't turn away from, like today. So it all comes. It's all the quarterback, Corey. It's all the quarterback. You guys can curse in the chat. I'm not gonna ignore or flag or your things. I said the same thing. Kyle Williams came back for this. I mean, it's the first game, but there's no accountability for bad quarterback play. The accountability is you don't let the guy play anymore. You don't let the guy play anymore. That's it. I would not want. I don't want to see him. None of us here want to see this guy play anymore. And I sound like a broken record, but the effort as a whole, the defense settled down after it was 17. But what can this is the modern NFL, and the Ravens they have a lot better offensive players than the Bills do, and a veteran quarterback. And you spot them 17 points. But when that defensive unit knows that offense cannot do a fucking thing, that's a lot of stress. That's a lot of stress. And that's the Bills. That's the Bills all the time. The defense going into the game knows we better stop these people. We better get 3 and outs. We got to play field position. Otherwise, we're going to be on the field a lot and we're going to be getting hammered on. That's the defense all the time. The offensive line has what? 3 starters on it from last year. Dukas is playing a different position. It's missing Wood and Incognito. Okay, 2 Pro Bowl players. I get it. They're going to suffer. They're going to suffer. But, guys, this guy did not generate a first down in the first half. So I don't know what else to say. He did not generate an offensive first down from the quarterback position. And I know receivers had their drops and all, but they had no respect either. They lined up and played man on him and said, none of these guys can beat us. Zay looks like shit. I don't know how good. You know what? I should shut up because quarterbacks make receivers. quarterbacks make receivers. How can these receivers trust anything that's going to happen if they're like, this guy is he's shell shocked back there? Ruined Josh Allen. They've ruined Nathan Peterman. Nathan Peterman is ruined. He's beyond shell shocked. I don't know how good of a backup he is or isn't. He was okay enough to be the backup last year, but I just nobody's getting fired today, Corey. Nobody's getting fired. McDermott's not getting fired. Bean's not getting fired. This team has $55 million in dead cap. And you know what? They look like a team. They look like a team that is short on talent. They look like a team that's short on talent on offense badly. That's it. There's $55 million that is not on the field right there. And that is what? Half? The next team has half? They have half. They have half of the roster is on other teams, or it's nowhere because they can't afford to pay the players that they need to put a requisite product on the field, and they have to rely on guys like John Miller, like Ducasse, like Bodine, and Philip Gaines and Jeremy Curley. They have to find those guys. But it was fool's gold, and those guys didn't last long. How long? Naaman Roosevelt was talent. He was a wide receiver they cut and signed. David Nelson was the guy that got injured. Donald Jones was the guy who got sick. He was an undrafted free agent. Scott Chandler was about the best of that group. And what did he do? He was a so-so tight end. You know, and it is not their mess. Apparently, Davis isn't healthy enough, Dank, to play. He's still not healthy enough. Like, I think it was like $3 million for Vontae Davis. It was like $3 million. It's a 1 year, three guaranteed. And they would lose because he could throw for 300 weekly, but they would lose. I don't want to hear about Fitzpatrick and the virtues of those teams. Those were 6-10 teams, and they were not good. They got their ass handed to them plenty of times. I mean, we all just watch what we watch, so we tend to forget what happened 5, 6, 7 years ago. But I watched those teams back then get their asses handed to them plenty of fucking times in the same fashion, and that was with a quarterback that was in the league 6, 7 years at the time, Ryan Fitzpatrick. So I don't want to even go there. This is really about getting this kid ready to go when this team could have good talent that he can play with, talent that'll make him better, talent that he can make better. Because right now, Benjamin, as of what I saw today, did not look like he even wanted to be on the field. McCoy was left void. He's the guy we know brings it. He brings it. So and he was frustrated. Charles Clay is probably one of the worst free agents this team has ever signed. He has to be one of the worst free agents ever signed. We're talking first round pick today. My God, if it's the first round pick today, it's either the Bills are trying to get somebody to trade up to take Justin Herbert, or they're just going to draft Nick Bosa. That's it. I mean, it's not like he was non-existent on the field today, Chris. He's like I don't know, what is he, like the third highest paid tight end in the league? And what impact does he make? It makes no impact. Like, he does nothing. I mean, yeah, Marcus Murphy looked like he wanted to be out there. These are the guys who I saw want to be out there today. Marcus Murphy, Tremaine Edmonds, Matt Milano played decent. I saw Trent Murphy make a few nice plays. Logan Thomas was trying at the end of the game. Jason Kroom was trying. Allen went into a shit show. What can we say? You want to start him against the Chargers at home. You want to rep him fully throughout the week. You want him in meetings, working with the ones all week. You go into the fucking room. This is the guy. This is the quarterback. This is what this is all about. Be real with the team. Be real with the fans. And you know what? They'll respect. We'll respect it. Won't we, guys? If McDermott comes out tomorrow and said, you know what? We're going to go with Josh Allen. We tried to do it this way, but it's apparent that this is the way we need to go now. This is the guy that this is really about, because this is the guy you traded up for. The problem with Corey Coleman is he's not a smart player, and he doesn't play fast. The guy can run 4.4, but he's not smart. Why hasn't nobody picked him up? He doesn't get picked up. Does it really? It matters that he gets the experience. It matters that maybe he can improve. It matters that we get to watch him play. It matters that Peterman gives them zero chance to win and gives them nothing. What is Peterman doing, getting reps do for them short and or long term? Does them nothing. Absolutely nothing. It gives them zero. It gives us zero. It's like watching milk go sour in the fridge or paint dry. It's just this white, placid nothing. I'm talking about this guy in the most horrible way, but my God. I don't mind the O'Leary thing. I don't mind the Kroom thing. I get it. But again, when your quarterback is just so bad, you can't look at anybody and ascertain anything good, bad, or indifferent about them, except what I saw in effort. I saw bad effort from Benjamin. Clay, they looked bad on the first two drives. The Ravens got the ball, and then they settled it down a little bit. They tightened up. But when you get the ball handed to you 3 times, down into 10, and then the next time at the 1, they got it at the 10 twice, and at the 1, that's 21 points. If this game is 27-3, it's still just as bad. It's still just as bad. The D's on the field the whole damn game. The D is on the field the whole game. How can the D ever get a chance to chill? Yeah, they had no chance. There's no start. There's no chance for them to gain any traction. They can't say, hey, we're going to put this team in a certain position because they've got to play. This defense plays from behind all the time. When do they ever play from ahead with 2 scores where they can just pin their ears back and go after an offense? Never. And this is the first game of the year, but they haven't had that in a long time. They play close games. They generate turnovers, and they win. They generated a turnover today. They could have had 2 instead of, Tywan Jones and didn't fall on the ball, and it was wet and slippery and it rolled. But wasting time. Yeah, dude, Corey, this is one thing. I'll give you. Jeff Toole played better. Jeff Toole. That's all I'll say. Peterman made you want Jeff Toole. And I forgot who Jeff Toole was. Yeah, Tyrod was Tyrod today. Tyrod was 15 for 40 for 197 yards, and he ran for a touchdown, and he threw one where he just threw it up to – he's like, there's my freak talented receiver. Remember how great Tyrod was going to do with all these freak weapons? Well, he had a bunch of freaks out there. He has David Njoku. He has Josh Gordon. He's got Antonio Callaway. He's got Jarvis, bless him, Landry, that piece of shit. He's got a bunch of great guys out there, and he looked like shit. Inaccurate. He looks like shit. That's it. I didn't want to watch Tyrod anymore this year. I don't care if the Bills moved on from Tyrod. After today, I know what I don't want to see anymore. My only concern is the Bills, and I don't want to see Nathan Peterman play quarterback for the Bills anymore. That's it. That's all. I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them put him on the field to embarrass this organization any more than it already has been. And it's been embarrassed. I hate this. I feel bad. Again, this guy embarrasses the organization. From a talent standpoint, he's not good enough. From just his resume standpoint, it's as bad as you can get it. I mean, what are we up to? 2 touchdowns in garbage. Well, he's got 1 touchdown in garbage time against the Saints. He's got that 1 touchdown at the end of the half against the Colts. And then he's got 7 interceptions, 8 if you want to count the playoff game in Jacksonville. I mean, and it's on those outs that he's got to throw, and the corners can jump the routes. Today, he overthrew it to Jefferson, and then Carr just went up and made a play on the ball. I mean, I hate to say it, but Cleveland looks like they have more talent right now than the Bills do across the board. Granted, it's the first game, but if you write it on paper, they look like they have more talent, but the production's not there, so I can't say anything. I can't say a damn thing. I mean, at the end of the day, that team's won 1 game in how long? So what good's all that talent? I mean, Myles Garrett looked like a fucking man. He looked disgustingly good today. The Bills need a pass rusher like that because Jerry Hughes looks shot. He's clearly lost a step. Yeah, it is. It is sad, Chris. It is because he just looked like, you just look like this. You look like, he got dressed, jumped on a plane to Baltimore. Hey, I'm going to go play in this football game. Yeah, Lawson again, another wasted first-round pick. This team needs to start hitting on its first-round picks. It needs to start finding out about its first. Look at this team's last. You're supposed to draft and develop, right? We hear that from the Bills all the time. Let's go back to 2011. No, 2010. We're now in 2018. We're going to do some revisionist history. C.J. Spiller out of the league. Marcel Darius traded last year. Very talented guy who doesn't give a fuck. Made his money and checked out. Stephon Gilmore gone. Guy was a great front runner, very talented, but at the end of the day, not a player the Bills could win with. Okay. 13, E.J. Manuel, pretty much out of the league. Done. All right. 2014, Sammy Watkins traded 2 first-round picks to get him. Bye-bye. That's ended up trading him to get to the trade to get Edmonds and Josh Allen. Okay. No first-round pick in 15. Ronald Darby, gone. Second-round pick, right? Gone. 2016, Shaq Lawson, right? Reggie Ragland in the second round, gone. Adolphus Washington, a reserve defensive lineman who does nothing. May as well be gone. 17, Trey Edmonds looks great. Trey Edmonds, okay, we can say he looks good. He looks solid for the Eagles. He looks solid. But they needed to trade him to get the ammo to get up to get a quarterback. That's what they did. And they did it. You can't have one and get the other. You got to say we trade these guys and get the quarterback. I'd rather go get that quarterback and try to find out instead of having another cornerback. Bill's obsession with drafting corners and running backs. But my point of saying that is where are the players? Where are the big-time players? You need to start. They need to start playing these guys and getting production out of them. They need to hit on them. They need to hit on them. You need to find out about Allen now. Soon. The faster you get on with that, was it they say get busy living or get busy dying? Well, guess what? They're going to start. One nail, 2 nails was in the death coffin today. It was just that bad. I'm sorry if I'm rambling, guys, and I sound like a broken record, and I'm just as frustrated as everybody here because it was just such a miserable game to watch. Embarrassing, just embarrassing. You know, as a Bills fan, how many more times do the Bills have to be embarrassed nationally? You know, how many more times do the Bills have to be put on blast by the national media and other teams, you know, just highlighted, viciously highlighted by other teams? You know what I mean? Like you're going to see that on their highlight reel where they're just running up the score on the Bills, and the Bills just look like this, you know, Pop Warner, not even junior varsity team playing against this really high-powered prep school. It just sucks, man. I mean, again, this is the guy's, his real first year as GM. He was hired at the end of last year. He didn't do free agency, didn't do the draft. Draft the year before last, so okay. Trey Edmonds, they got the extra first, all that stuff. It looks okay. But we need to start finding about this year. We need to start finding out about the quarterback, because that's the guy that's going to change all of this. Is number 17, Josh Allen. That's the guy that's going to make all this suffering go away. Or we're going to find out he's not good enough and it's going to stay. That's the only way it can go. The only way it can go. Look at Tampa Bay. Oh, Ryan Fitzpatrick looked great. Oh, yeah, he looked great. But you know what? They still have a problem. Ryan Fitzpatrick's old. He's probably going to retire. And what is Jameis Winston? Do they have to draft a guy? Or can he still be salvageable? Or, you know, he has his little too heavy-handed with female issues. So, you know, they need to. I'm not going to dub anybody a star or garbage today because we don't know about anybody today. But shit, I would. Terrell Owens sounds good right about now, but they need to start finding out about this kid. And I don't want to talk. Forget Marone. Forget all these guys from the past. I brought up some guys from the past. We need to start finding out about Josh Allen. And the sooner the Bills announce that he's going to start this week. Yeah, that was the last guy that had 300 yards in regulation, and that was in 2014. They were all garbage yards too. I mean, the Lions game they won on a late field goal. Yeah, they need a receiver that can create separation. They need you know, some offensive linemen. Yes, we know they need those things, but they also need to know about the quarterback. Exactly, Damager. That's it. It all rests on Josh Allen, because there's going to come a time. Let's just say Josh Allen is really, really good. They're not going to be able to pay that guy or have that best offensive line because they allocated all the money to Josh Allen. So they're going to have to gumshoe things. That's where you need to hit on the draft. You need to have a guy that's not supposed to be good end up being good. So this is what I'm trying to say. Just like what Dave said, it's dependent on Josh Allen. So how do we find out? He plays. McDermott comes out tomorrow, says, you know what? I'm going to start Josh Allen. It's unfortunate about Nathan. You know what he's going to say. You know McDermott, he's not going to throw Nathan under the bus. He's going to be like, We still like Nathan. He's a great team guy. He's very much an important part of our team. It's not all on him. Yada yada yada. You know all the stuff he's gonna say. You know all the stuff he's gonna say. So you know what? You put Allen out there. We're gonna see some players sign this week because this is when veterans can sign and they don't have to guarantee their contracts. If they're on your roster week 1 past a certain time, their contracts are guaranteed throughout the year, if they're on your team or not. So they needed to, wait that week like most teams do. This week you'll start to see some veteran signs, and we'll probably see the Bills sign a couple of veterans on probably Monday or Tuesday. Maybe a wide receiver, maybe an offensive lineman, maybe a corner. I don't know. We'll see. And they'll go from there. Hopefully, this game is an anomaly. They come out this Sunday against the Chargers, and they look like a different team. They wake up, they got their dicks knocked in the dirt, and they want to, play well in front of their home fans, which they should. They should want to go out there and play like that every week, irregardless of where they're playing, because they've got that logo on the side of their helmet and they've got their name on the back of their jersey name. They should want to represent that with some pride. Deontay Thompson re-signed with the Cowboys, Tanner. He's not out there. But that's what they should want to do. They should want to go out there and have some self-respect. They put a product on the field that at least they can be proud of, because you can't be proud of what went out there. And it starts with the guy who holds the ball every damn play. Sorry. Like Charlie Brown, the guy with the ball, stupid. Who's the quarterback? I mean, that's it. The same as it ever was with the Bills. It's like the song goes, same as it ever was. The quarterback, I'm a mess. I'm still fucked up. My old apartment burned down. My cat died. I had to watch this shit today. Just, was hoping maybe there was some fucking, just a little relaxation, just a little enjoyment life could give me. And it was like this. It was like from the first drive, I knew it was going to be a long fucking game. A long game. Yeah, my little gray cat, she would always come, lay on the bed, and show up in a lot of the videos, and it was just like, from the opening drive, we didn't get shit. None of us got a damn thing except suffering. It's like, it's gonna be a long goddamn Sunday. We're not gonna to enjoy it. We're gonna feel this dick in our ass all week, and it's gonna suck. That's exactly what it was from Jump Street, man. It wasn't even like there was a hope that they could get back in the game. That's what's so damn frustrating. And Peterman doesn't provide that. All I'm saying is, if Allen goes out there and makes mistakes and he's making them full speed, but you see the flashes, you see the plays, you see some traction being gained, we could live with that. Granted, Lossman didn't work out, but in 06 they went full in on him. He played the whole year. The team went 7-9, and you saw like, okay, maybe he's got something. And then 08, you saw in the first 2 games he didn't have shit. He wasn't that good. They moved on to Edwards. Edwards had a few flashes. They went into 08 with him, and then he showed even more. Then he fell on his ass again. So that was it. You find out quick. You don't wait around. You don't put your thumb up your ass and spin and say, hey, let's sit here, waste 3 years, and we don't know what we have. We got to draft Brian Brom and put him in a quarterback competition with the most physically gifted quarterback maybe ever in Aaron Rodgers, because they didn't know Aaron Rodgers was that. That's my point. You gotta go. You gotta go. Let's see the freak show. Let's see Josh Allen. That's it. So I'm going to keep saying that, so I'm going to sound like a broken record, guys. Thanks. I've wasted enough of your time. Yeah, I've been patient. It's been over 3 weeks now, and it just still sucks, man. It still sucks. I thought, this time, I'd be sitting in my usual place, watching the game. It would, it just stings. And this just makes it suck even worse. But who knows? Maybe we'll get some good news sometime this week. Josh Allen starting. I got to go up there, man. I want to come to a game this year, irregardless of what the record is. I don't care what the record is. I want to go up and see a game in that stadium with a bunch of other Bills fans. I want to finally go there. I don't care what the weather is. I'll sit. Shit, I would do anything to see the Bills win. Honestly, I don't care where I'd have to go. I don't care. I appreciate that, man. What are the best places? I'll stand in shit to watch the Bills win. I will literally stand in waist-high cesspool and watch if I could watch the Bills win. I don't care. But it's like, oh, wow, Denver beat Seattle. Last-minute touchdown. Demaryius Thomas. Shit. I always like to see AFC teams lose when they play NFC teams because it helps the Bills, but nothing went the Bills' way today. Jacksonville won against the Giants. Just a hot mess. Case Keenum's an undrafted free agent. I don't really care about him too much, but the Bills, you see this weapon like Tyreek Hill, who just is so fast, so athletic, and the Bills just do not have that level of athlete on their football team, and it really, really showed today. They have nobody that they respect on the perimeter of the offense. And they're all on top because their defense is that good. I mean, they lost Leonard Fournette. Blake Bortles didn't show me anything great today. I still saw the same old Blake Bortles that I've ever seen. Eli threw a dumb interception today to Miles Jack. So they need to go out there and get themselves hopefully a player of that caliber one day, like a Tyreek Hill, because that would be good. I mean, when's the last time you saw a Bills offensive player do something like that? It's been a real long time that had that level of skill. Oh, look, Ryan Tannehill's going to throw. Oh, he threw a touchdown to Kenny Still. Kenny Still's a fast receiver. Bills could use a fast receiver. Throw it up, make some plays. Dolphins looks like they might win 24-17. Yeah, he did what he had to do in the playoffs, but it wasn't good enough. It wasn't good enough. Look at Corey, not to talk about another team for a minute. Look at the way their head coach and their coordinator called the game for Blake Bortles, a guy they've been with for 2 years. They're with him for 3 years now. Marone been there for 2 years already, and they called the game scared, afraid to put the ball in his hands. They ran the ball up the middle and said, we're going to punt and play defense to Tom Brady because we're horrified for Bortles to have to win the game with his arm. You don't want to live in that world, Corey. You don't want to live there. It doesn't win long term. It's not fun. Yeah, the Jags have a good team. I'm not taking anything away, but their quarterback situation isn't such that you want it. You don't want it. Now, if the Jaguars had Andrew Luck, holy shit, would they be scary. But they have Blake Bortles, and I'm not scared of Blake Bortles. Fitzpatrick, holy shit. But he has a lot of good receivers on that team. He's got O.J. Howard, Deshaun Jackson. He's got Mike Evans. He's got, Mike Godwin. He's got, really good offensive weapons. And they sucked. The team sucked. But the team was terrible because he threw a lot of picks and he fumbled a lot. He fumbles the ball a shit ton. Don't always look at the stats, man. I just want to see the Bills play this kid so we can start watching what our future is or isn't. That's all I'm saying. I want to see what the Bills' future is or isn't with Josh Allen. And it might not be revealed this year. Maybe we'll get glimpses of it. That's the point. I want to see glimpses. I want to see, hey, maybe if the Bills do go get a couple of stud receivers, a little bit better interior offensive line, we'll see better production offensively. Because a lot of this team is going to go. Next year, it's going to be gone. Kyle Williams ain't going to be back next year. Lorenzo Alexander's not going to be back. Shady's probably on his last year. Charles Clay does not look like he's long for this team at all. Vontae Davis, he might not even have a Bills career. So this team needs to, like, get on the move. Granted, you have a huge amount of this season left to play, 15 games for Christ's sake, but hell, they need to start thinking about 2019 just as much as now and be like, hey, you know what? We need to find out about Josh Allen now, see what we need to do ASAP. I don't question that trade at all. The 5th-round pick for a guy you might cut, I'm sorry, I'm taking it. That's part of the game, dude. What if? I don't want to. I don't live in the what if world. What if I was born with, I was born a female? That I don't live in that what if world. You can't live in that what if world. What if Tom Brady never was Tom Brady? Guess what? We'll never know because he is. What if Mo Lewis never severed Drew Bledsoe's lungs? Nope. Guess what? Nope. No what if. It either is or isn't. It's either black or it's white. There's no gray area. You can't half-ass it around the back door and still get what you want. You either go all in or not at all. The girl wants it all the way, not just the head. No, maybe they feel like they don't know what they have. If they don't feel like they know what they have in Nathan Peterman last week, they damn well do now. How about that? Is that fair enough? If they felt like they fully didn't know what Nathan Peterman was last week, they know now. They know that he is not a good enough wide receiver. If Allen's good, it won't matter when he starts. Let's see. Exactly. Damager Dave and me are on the same page. And I'm not asking everybody to be on the same page with me. I'm not asking everybody in this room to agree with me. You, Corey, Tanner, anybody. If you guys have a difference of opinion, I totally get it. You own it. You guys make the room just as much as I do. It's all about you guys. Loss, all this stuff. I come in here. I don't have a brand. I don't have any. I don't try to make money on these things. I just enjoy talking with you guys. That's why I do this. I enjoy talking with you guys. Chris, anybody who has respects me enough to come in here and listen to me bitch and take their time, shit, I'm bend over backwards for you twice, 2 times, 3 times again on Sunday before I say, oh, this is my room, get out of here, rah, 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 rah. This is Bill's Ultimate Fan Club. Fuck out of here. There's some of these Bills clubs, they're like cliques that they have. They think they have this big opinion over every other Bills club, like Bills Mafia, Bills this, Bill. Fuck out of here. We're all fans of the team. We all want to see them win, and it doesn't matter what name. We all root for the same damn thing. I don't know why we got to have all these little sub-clicks. It's like wrestling. I don't need to see any more from Nate Corey. I don't need to see any more. He's a 5th-round pick. That's it. I don't need to see. I've seen what I needed to see. I don't think we need to waste. I don't think we need to waste any more of our time on him. That's what I'm saying. If you want to see more, have at it, man. If McDermott gives you what you want, and I'm wrong, I'll come in here and I'll be the first one to say, Corey, you know what? Peterman was able, but what we've seen, I don't think so. And you know what? He hasn't survived 1, and he's been pulled in 2. You want to go for round 4? Man's been knocked out once, and then his trainer has retired him on his stool in 2. That's 0-3. You could give him he won the Colt start, but he's been knocked down 3 times, and twice his trainer had to put him out of his misery. I'm speaking in boxing terms now. It's hard to say, Chris, because I think they backed off. They didn't care. They were up by so much. That's what I mean. It's hard to judge Allen in these situations because the defense doesn't care. They just want to run clock out. So they're going to back up. They're not going to play their full complement. So Allen isn't getting the full game. He's getting game experience, but he's not getting the full game experience. You want him to go in there with a full week, the game plan tailored around him, and then go in full bore. You don't want to, again, half-ass it, but you can't middle it. You can't half-ass it around the back door. When are the Bills going to be good, guys? We're not going to stop being scared. That's our fucking starter. He's going to come in and kick the shit out of you. What do you think of that? This is what he does. He's good at it all. He can make all the throws. He's big. He's talented. We ain't scared. Throw what you got at him. See what you got. There you go. There's no fear in football. If you're going in with fear of failure, fear of being injured, fear of not looking a certain way, of the optics, then it's not for you. Competition isn't for you. The competition world doesn't need that type of mentality. The Bills don't need that type of mentality. You need to go in there with the mentality of, this is our quarterback. Yeah, he's young, but he's big, he's physical, he's talented, he's got a rocket arm, and we're going to shove it up your ass, and you're going to take it. And you know what? If he throws a pick, fuck it, we're going to come out again, and we're going to try it again. That's it. You have nothing to lose. Everybody thinks the Bills are going to suck anyway. And so far today, they proved everybody right that they do suck, that they aren't good. And it's up to them to go out and dispel that shit and try to win. Or try to look a hell of a lot better losing than they did today. Because today they look like an absolute embarrassment. They look like a team that just walked onto the field. They hadn't practiced one time or even been together as a team, and which flies in the face of everything their head coach preaches, and that has to be embarrassing to him. That has to be the right that's got to be an embarrassment to him. And they didn't look like a team, and they need to go out there and fix that. Because he's your quarterback of the future. He keeps playing. You don't go back to Nate. He keeps playing. He figures it out. Did 28 interceptions ruin Peyton Manning? Did it ruin Peyton Manning? Did 28 interceptions ruin Peyton Manning? I don't remember that. I know he threw 20 interceptions in his fourth year too. Did that ruin him? Did that stunt his growth? He's either going to be good or he's not. Did the 5 touchdown passes and 10 interceptions Eli Manning threw in his rookie year, did that ruin him? How about the rookie year Jared Goff had, where it was 2 touchdowns and 8 interceptions? Was he ruined? Was he ruined? I don't know. I know that has to be a joke every day. Sign EJ. That would be embarrassing. That would be a big time embarrassment if they signed him. Yeah, mental reps watching Peterman. Yeah, there's no mental reps. The mental reps is, oh yeah, you got to go into another blowout, kid, and try to look
I'm not saying who's starting next week. All right, rough.
I was waiting to see if Glazer had anything on the Bills starting, but he didn't. Because he's a 5th-round pick, dude. He's a 5th-round pick. The Bills traded up in the 1st round to get a guy. Do you see the disparity? You see the pecking order. There's a 1st-round pick, and then there's a 5th-round pick. That's why they're rounds. You traded up to get one. You go out, and this is the guy you play, Corey. Dude, that's an outlier. Tom Brady was a 6th-round pick. How many 6th-round picks turn into anything? Give me the list. Give me the list of greatness, and I'll give you another list. That I think it's 72% of the quarterbacks in this league, whether starting or backups, are 1st-round picks. 72%. 72% of the quarterbacks that last in the NFL are first-round picks. Percentage for second-round picks is 22. So what does that leave? It leaves 6% for the other 5 rounds. Brandon Weeden they fail and they succeed. They fail and they succeed, but that's where the talent lies. For every Brady, I can give you a Spurgeon win. For every Brady, I can give you a Craig Wenzel or a fucking Bobby Hoying or a Danny Cannell or somebody like that. I can give you tons of Troy Smiths and all those guys that just aren't worth a shit. That's all he's proven. I don't understand. You must really like the guy, Corey. I mean, he must really. I don't know what he's shown you to give you this confidence that you want to see him go out there again, but I don't know what it is, bro. I just can't. I can't fathom what it is, because today he made them look like utter shit. But every great 6th round, 5th round quarterback that somebody wants to give me, there's not many. Not many. They're big time outliers, dude. They're big time outliers. Yeah, Tom Brady is the biggest. So by design, just because you fail doesn't mean you keep trying. You stop. You say, "Oh, our history." Well, that's not the same people making the picks. So Josh Allen is supposed to succumb to all that and say, "Well, oh, C.J. Spiller failed 7 years ago, and E.J. Manuel failed 5 years ago, so I'm gonna by design suck too." No, hell no. Exactly. You got to know what he is as a starter. Because there is exactly, Eric. There's a chance this team's going to have a very high pick, and you got to start finding out about what you have in Allen and what he needs to best succeed. What we already know, he's going to need receivers and an offensive line, obviously. I would say, see again with the what if, Corey. What if he has 3 touchdowns, Corey? What if he has 3 touchdowns? What are you going to do then? I'm not worried about INTs. Why? Tyrod got us spoiled with INTs because he won't throw the ball. Tyrod, who won't throw the ball, spoiled Bills fans. You know why? Because Bills fans were just coming off Ryan Fitzpatrick, who threw a shit ton of INTs at the wrong time. So they went from one extreme to the other. And now Bills fans are all, oh my God, about INTs. You know what I'm interested in? Touchdowns, yardage, production, winning. And whatever form that comes in, I don't give a shit. I just need to know that the ultimate and see that the ultimate conduit of it is the damn quarterback and not a great defense or running. Granted, you need those things in the interim for a young quarterback. I get that. You need those building blocks. But at the end of the day, Josh Allen just simply taking a snap from under center in a real NFL game when the score is still 0-0 and anybody can win it is more important than seeing Nathan Peterman go out there and throw ducks all over the fucking field. You know, that's it. Throw it to the other team if that's the game you want to play. I don't live in the what if world. I don't live in the what if world. I'm not. They cannot live in the what if world, Corey. They can't sit around the table during the week and say what if, because I can retort with what if all day long. What if my mother had a dick? She'd be my father. What if what if my girlfriend had a dick? She'd be a tranny. That's the what if world. You can't live in the what if world. As a competitor, you can't do it. Yeah, he started 3 games and he's been bad. He's been fucking awful. I don't understand anymore what you need. Pull what plug? He's a 5th-round pick. You're arguing for a 5th-round pick, dude. You're not arguing for anything. This guy, you have no reason. It's like he's not undraftable. He might not even be draftable. Tony Pike, take your pick. I can think of what Tyler Wilson, not draftable. Yeah, there we go. What if we sign him to trade? What if we, you know what? What if we release Peterman? How about that? Could the Bills release Peterman? I think they could. Could the Bills sign a Matt Moore or a Derek Anderson and say, release Peterman? That's all. They Yeah, Neil, that's the way I feel too. He's just so bad. He's just so bad. I'm joking about Derek Anderson and Matt Moore, but I'm saying if the Bills released Peterman, nobody would give a shit. The league would not care, Corey. Nobody's going to be lining up to sign Nathan Peterman. There's not going to be a litany of teams, making their waiver claims on Nathan Peterman. They're just not. Nobody cares about Nathan Peterman. So I just, the kid needs to just go back to holding the clipboard and watching the rookie play. That's it. That's all that I'm saying. He's got 2.5 more, almost 3 full seasons left with the Bills if he lasts. He does not need to be starting NFL football games. That's been proven. He just does not need to be an NFL starter anymore for the Bills. He's shown what he can do and has not been good. Anything other than that, you're just wasting time. You're wasting the fans' time, you're wasting your own time, and you're wasting your rookie quarterback's time. He probably wouldn't have started for any other team. He probably wouldn't have. What is like I need to know what other than just being young, what has Peterman done to deserve to stay the starter? And what are those 5 teams that he could start from? I just don't think they had the ability to get the talent they need, Eric. $55 million in dead cap is not good. I am so glad they have their 1st-round pick next year. I just thought of that. I'm sitting here saying, thank God they did not trade that 1st-round pick to trade up this year like I thought they were going to have to. Like I was pretty much sure that they were going to have to. I'm so happy that they have that. They have the whole damn draft. They have 10 picks next year. And shit, what if they trade McCoy for a 3rd or Hughes for a 3rd? Or somebody else for like 4th and 5th, and then you got some more ammo to play with. At this point, the way they look today, they're closer to that than finishing 9-7 and being a wild card team. They can't come out next week and look this bad. They really can't. Not in front of the home fans. Not in front of that crowd. They can't look that bad because that's so fucking embarrassing. It was so embarrassing on so many different levels. My head would explode, guys. My head would explode. I look like a big enough idiot on Instagram Live today. I look like a buffoon. I was so pissed off at halftime. I normally don't come talk about the team like that, but they just left me so sick to my stomach. Peterman would not start for any one of those teams, Corey. Peterman would not start for any one of those teams. Yeah, bro, I did. At halftime, it was terrible. Chris. Yeah, Corey, he's not starting over Darnold. He's not starting over Keenum. He's not starting over Tannehill. Browns have Tyrod and Baker Mayfield. The Bucks have Fitz and Winston. He's not starting for any of these teams. He's not starting. I don't. It's preseason. That means nothing. Preseason is obviously shit. The Browns were 4-0. Were 4-0 in preseason or whatever the year before. They went 0-16. The Lions were 4-0 and they went 0-16. No, not at all, Neil. Not at all. The roster looked like shit today, but I liked what I saw in Tremaine Edmonds. I just think the whole team early on looked a little flat. I thought the defense settled down. They just had never had a chance to get on their feet because they're on the field, because your offense did not get a first down all game. All first half. The offense did not get a first down all first half. So how is the defense going to do anything? They forced a turnover in the first half. The offense can only get 3 points out. Corey is a legit Bills fan. He's frustrated like the rest of us, and I understand it. We're just trying to find solutions. And I don't want to rip him or as much as I am, but he is a legit Bills fan, and he's frustrated. Again, Daboll also. How can we judge him? How can we judge him with the quarterback play being so bad as it was? I just can't. I don't know how else we can make any determinations on anybody, any of the receivers, anybody, because it was that bad. It was bad for the Bills. It was bad for their coaches. It was bad for. I mean, I feel bad for Nathan Peterman. I really do. I know I've ripped him for over an hour and talked about what a hard. And I'm talking about the kind of quarterback he is, not him as a person. But he's looked so bad in the time that we've seen him, and he hasn't even played a whole game, guys. We have to, Corey. When I'm ripping Nathan Peterman, you have to realize he has not survived an NFL game as a starter. Okay, because he's been pulled twice for terrible play, and he's been knocked out of another game. So that should give us a pretty good indication right there that this guy's not cut from the cloth you need to be a stud quarterback. And it's just really, really tough. Again, Phillips might be a Harrison Phillips. How could we judge anybody on this team today? It was just levels of bad. It was just like it started with the quarterback. The quarterback was terrible. He was terrible last year with a team that went 9-7 into the playoffs, right? Did the Bills not get their asses handed to them 47 to whatever in the Bills got their asses handed to them the week before with Tyrod against the Saints, right? So we saw 2 weeks of good old fashioned bend over our knee, we're gonna spank your ass type games. I just think that it starts with the quarterback, and when your quarterback cannot when your quarterback holds you back, this is what you get. And I just think that Nathan Peterman is so bad. So bad. And you can't do anything with him as a starter. You really can't. You're going to give up points in this league. This league is designed for the offense to score. This league is designed for the offense to score points. The rules are set up for it. The league is designed to pass the ball. And this guy has shown he's not able to physically make the throws. And the things that he was supposed to be good at, like decision-making, quick release, he didn't do those things today at all. He made terrible decisions, and he double-clutched, took some sacks, and ran around, and he's not a scrambling quarterback, and he got himself pulled. Yeah, Patrick, he's been pulled twice. He's never finished a game, and he's gotten that. That's what I mean. He's like a thing of a fighter. You're a fighter who's 0-0. Your first professional fight, you get beat so bad, your trainer says, stop the fight. You're not going to go out there and fight no more. Your second fight, you're fighting well, then you get knocked out. You get knocked out. You're ahead in the fight, and all of a sudden your opponent throws a punch, bam, puts you on your ass, you're done. Your next fight, you go out there again, you're just getting fucked up. And it's to the point where it's abusive. It's abusive. It's not even competitive. It's abusive. So your trainer again says, you know what, kid, you're done. You're done. Stop. You're 0-3. You're right. You're 0-3. You know what the trainer then goes and tells you? Dude, I don't think you need to fight anymore. I think you need to stop fighting because you're not good at it. You don't have the ability to do this job. And there's been tons of quarterbacks I've seen that happen to. They just weren't good enough to do it. And I've seen the Bills have plenty of them. I've seen other teams have plenty of them. It's nothing personal. It's just the way it is. It's nothing personal against Peterman. It's just how it is. The guy's not good enough to play. I saw more things from Trent Edwards than I've ever seen from Nathan Peterman. I saw more good things in Trent Edwards' his first start against the Jets in the first half than I've ever seen from Nathan Peterman. I saw more good things from the first game of E.J. Manuel against the Patriots, which they lost, than I've ever seen from Nathan Peterman. You know, so Peterman gives you no reason to play him anymore. He gives you no reason. There's no reason to stroll Peterman out. You don't go in front of your team and say, this guy gives us the best chance to win, because that's what you have to do. When clearly he does not give you the best chance to win. He didn't mean it literally, Corey. He's just, again, we're all frustrated. We're all frustrated. Yeah, it is Damager. It's Conor McGregor versus Floyd Mayweather. It's like, how could anybody believe that this guy's going to go in there against the greatest fighter of all time and win, when the guy clearly could have cared less? He went out there and fucked around, didn't train, was in a strip club, and still whipped the guy's ass and got the fight stopped. Big money. That's it. You know, everybody's bringing up Mahomes. He had a good start today. Great. But again, I care about Josh Allen. I care about Josh Allen going out there and showing what he can do. It's year one. He's already played almost a whole half of football. Now, give him the game plan, give him the reps with the ones all week, and let him go play. Don't put him in another situation where the team's down 30 points and he has to go out there and just – that's not experience. That's not learning. He's not getting anything out of that. So he's got to go out there and give them a legitimate chance, and they need to give him a legitimate chance to try to win. I'm stumbling and bumbling all over myself. Yeah, I don't know. Nah, Neil, I'm not going to go to the game next week. I'm going to go to a game at some point this year. I don't know when it is, but I want to, I need to get a hotel up there, probably close to the stadium, so I can go. I don't really like relying on other people to go in games. I like to do my own thing. I don't want to stay with nobody. I want to, go around. I want to go where I want and do what I want. Like when I went to Cleveland, I went and did what I wanted. Thankfully, I had a couple of really cool people out there that helped me out during that time. They were insistent. I chilled, so I was like, but they were really good to me, so I appreciated that. He's a rookie quarterback. Yeah, he's your first-round pick you traded up for. Yeah, you keep him in, Corey. It's not always going to be good, of course. Dude, Josh is big and mobile. He gives you a lot more physical gifts than Peterman does, and his arm. So you know what? You give a lot of, yeah. Again, no team's perfect. You're not going to stroll out your rookie quarterback with 10 Pro Bowlers. There's a segment of Bills fans that believe there's this offensive line that exists somewhere in the universe that's this 5 Pro Bowl locked in offensive line, and you've got your X and Z wide receivers that are studs, and you've got your running back and all this. And John apparently is not healthy enough to play. He hasn't had 2 full games of action. He hasn't even survived one, Corey. He hasn't survived one. Well, what did I think of Kelvin Benjamin, Neil? I thought he was garbage today. I thought he was terrible. I thought he could have cared less. Yeah, they need to respect his arm and his mobility. I saw him break out of a sack today. A couple of them, make plays on the run. Everything, okay, Allen was average. He still looked like Joe Montana compared to what Nathan Peterman did. And Josh Allen didn't go out there and light it up, but still, he looked like Joe fucking Montana compared to what this guy put out there. Nobody's happy with anybody right now, Neil. I mean, yeah, everybody thinks, again, it's game 1. It was shit. It was terrible. It was a fucking disaster. A disaster. But it started from the beginning. They went out there. They gave up a long touchdown drive. Okay. Road team on the road. They got a long touchdown drive. I wasn't happy with it. I'm not happy with them giving up a 2nd and 26. That was terrible. And then their quarterback, who they chose to start the game, went out there and proceeded to not get them a first down in a whole half of football in 2018. This isn't 1938. It's 2018. This isn't Red Grange triple option veer football anymore. It's, spread them out, space game, motion, all this stuff. And it was terrible because the guy's not physically able to play the position at the level you need in the NFL. He's not physically able to. Benjamin, he dropped the pass. He dropped the pass for Peterman. He dropped the pass for and was Clay. I could sit here and rant for all night, guys. I could rant all night. I did not see. I don't remember Charles Clay doing a fucking thing today. And this is a guy that is like $9 million a year, 4.5 of the cap. Like, this guy just did nothing. I mean, absolutely nothing today. I mean, you guys could have played tight end and did more. I could have played tight end and did more. I'm not 6'4", 250 pounds. I'm not an NFL tight end. His attitude was shit. Again, $55 million. Let's count the ways. Brandon Beane's been upfront about this. It's going to take 2 years to clean up the cap, right? It's year 2. We're year 2. They're $55 million in the hole. $55 million in the hole means there's $55 million in talent that potential talent that you don't have on the field. That's the cornerback, maybe. That's a better quality cornerback than what they could have gotten in Vontae Davis. That's 2 guards. Maybe they can go out and sign an Andrew Knoll or a fucking better center than what they have in Ryan Groy and Russell Bodine. Maybe that's a veteran quarterback that you would have liked to have had, as opposed to A.J. McCarron, who did nothing to show you that he needed to be kept. He didn't make any discernible plays to my mind. He took sacks. He looked indecisive. He threw a pick six in Game 4 of the preseason. You know, when you don't have the money to hand out to free agents, they're not going to come. They're not going to come. Again, Bean's been upfront about that. What is this organization doing? They're putting in, the Pagulas are spending another, was it $25, $18 million of their own money for that new facility there, that the AdPro whatever. They're putting like a whole new weight room and doctor's offices and all this other shit in there. So when 2019 rolls in, that's going to be open. They're going to show everybody, be like, hey, we are moving in the right direction. Look at all this cool new shit. Look at that new weight room. Look at all this. Look at that. Look at all this new stuff. All the upgrades in the stadium. Blah, 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 blah. I remember when it was a big deal that they put electricity in Mario Williams' locker. That's how far back the Bills were. That was 2012. Everybody went ape shit. And he had a refrigerator, a little mini refrigerator. Jerry Sullivan, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. We need that. That's what they need, Eric. They need to show that the quarterback is legit to attract free agents also. And the only way you find out about that is with Josh Allen. That's the only way we find out about that. But in the meanwhile, there is all that money in dead cap that they don't have on the field. And the cap goes up, what, $7 million every year? So right there, there's $63 million. With contracts coming off the books, they're going to have close to or around $100 million in cap space to spend plus, despite maybe some other moves they might make. Maybe they trade McCoy for a mid-round draft pick, Benjamin for like a 4th or 5th round draft pick. Maybe they trade Jerry Hughes for a 3rd. He's a pass rusher. He could fetch you a 3rd. McCoy could fetch you a 3rd, definitely. So, granted, it seems like doom and gloom now. But, the punter looked good. It was wet and nasty, and that left-footed punting did force the guy to muff the punt. So we can say that. Bojorquez looked good. You know what? People come to Cleveland. I was in Cleveland 3 weeks ago. It's a little big city. It's not terrible. It's on the Great Lakes. The stadium is right there. It's right on Lake Erie. It's not terrible. If an NFL team said you want to come, if the Browns wanted to sign me to a contract and they wanted to pay me the money, I would go to Cleveland. If you're a professional athlete, the place should not bother you. All right? If you need to only play in a Miami or an LA, I don't want you. That means you're not focused on football. You're focused on hanging out, the nightlife, and the girl, and all the stupid shit. I'm sure Buffalo has plenty of beautiful women. I don't want to hear it. That's an old school mentality. You know, like nobody wants to come to Buffalo. Yeah, Eric, I haven't seen Hughes make a play in God knows how long. I don't even know if Charles Clay's on the field anymore. And these are guys, again, they just look like they're shells of themselves. And these aren't guys that this regime brought in. These are guys that are just, you're supposed to be dependent on to help you, and they're not helping you. They just look like shells of themselves. You know, but what can you do? It just sucks that we had to sit there and watch that. I mean, I think we'd all be a lot more encouraged if we watched, you know, the young quarterback grow and develop. Then we could sit here and talk about plays he could have made better, maybe some exciting plays he did make, this and that. Maybe if it was a bad start, we could chalk it up to him being a rookie and being young and all that. But you just can't watch this from a 5th round pick who's never done a damn thing. He's never played well enough to say you keep him in there or start him over your 1st round rookie. In my opinion, they let that first half against the Bengals spook them. They let that first half against the Bengals spook them right out of it. And it shouldn't have spooked them from anything. Allen hasn't had enough reps with the ones. You had a center battle. That's 2 different cadences. You're already replacing 2 positions. That's 3 different cadences from quarterbacks. How can you gain any traction like that? How can you get better like that? You need to do this. This is our center. This is our quarterback. This is our center. This is our quarterback. Honestly, Bodine's had many starts at center straight. I'd put him in at starting center, and I'd start Allen at quarterback. I said, you know what? You're our starter at center. You're our starter at quarterback. That's it. Over and done, and a fucking story. I think, honestly, like 20 today or in his career. I think he got like 2 today at the end of the game. Yeah, in the end zone, I saw a touchdown. It'd have been nice to see Allen get his first touchdown pass. But so why does today spook Buffalo from Nate? He's only a second year because he's a 5th-round pick who's done nothing but play like garbage, Corey. He's a 5th-round pick who's played like shit. It's like Willy Wonka. You get nothing, 0. You lose. That's why nobody cares about Nathan Peterman's development. Okay, he's shown you. I wasn't on the whole Khalil Mack train damager. I really wasn't. I'd much rather have 2 first-round picks, because this team's going to need them. And at that point, Mack will be 29 years old and making a whole shit ton of money that you're going to have to sit and eat. Think of Mario Williams. Yeah, it feels like shit. Yeah, man, our receiving core is hurting. And I'm really disappointed in Benjamin. I thought he was going to come and try to play with a chip on his shoulder. And I would have – or they could have stayed and drafted Beckham. That's a generational talent. The generational talent is the guy you didn't have to trade for. How about that? The generational talent is the guy you did not have to trade for. The generational talent you could have sat at number 9 and drafted. Granted, I don't like him. I think he's an asshole, but he's the generational talent. Odell Beckham Jr. is the generational talent. And they didn't have to trade for him. But that's in the past. I don't want to talk about the past. I want to talk about the future. I want to talk about next week and the Bills starting Josh Allen. That's what I want to talk about. I mean, I hope so. Could it get any worse? If Ray McLeod, could it be any worse? I mean, it's sad to see a guy like Marcus Murphy go out there and play as hard as he did. Undrafted guy trying from whistle to whistle. Was it just me or was he the 2nd string running back today? Because I saw Chris Ivory get like 2 garbage carries. I didn't see Chris Ivory do anything. I mean, he had that one tough run, but honestly, I think Marcus Murphy is the 2nd string running back on the team right now. I think you're right. They were adamant about not trading the pick because it was, they feel like it's going to be, he needs to announce it tomorrow. You know how the Bills have done the last 2 quarterback announcements where the 3rd preseason game, they announced Allen on a Monday, and to start the season, they announced Peterman on a Monday. They need to go out there and announce Allen tomorrow. They need to just get in front of it. I don't want the football team distracted anymore with this shit. Because if they're all about getting out in front of stuff and cutting out distractions, don't worry, you guys can curse in the chat room. I'll show it. I don't care. It keeps giving me this option to hide it. I'm not going to hide it. I'll constantly click show, so don't worry about it. I don't know who chose him. I feel like maybe organizationally they felt like it was the best way to go and not put Allen out there on the road, and they didn't know there were going to be horrible conditions. I was going to make a joke. I was going to make a joke at the beginning of the game. Oh, look at these Buffalo-like conditions. Allen's got big hands and a big arm. Maybe they should put him out there. I was going to make a joke, and then as the game was going on, I'm like, maybe they need to put him out there. Oh, my God, guys. This is fucking terrible. This is so bad. Oh, you gotta sit and eat this all fucking week. All week. All fucking week. I'm not gonna start feeling slightly better till Wednesday. Like, I'll start thinking about the next game. I wasn't surprised. I was calling for him before. I was saying they should have put him in at the start of the second half. I was like, there's no way you could even run him out in the second half. And I think he went out there and threw another interception, and they finally had to pull his ass. So what are they going to let him do? Go out and you know, they're going to let him go out in your home opener and piss away your home opener in front of your fans that paid good money for those tickets? You can't do that. You can't do that. Because they had to draft a quarterback, and they chose to draft the Edmonds. The offensive line talent was not good in the draft this year. Name me the big-time tackles that were tackles go high if they're really, really good. Mike McGlinchey and Colton Miller were considered the best tackles in this draft, and they weren't even considered great tackles for prior drafts. So I don't understand. I don't understand that's guards. What? There was one guard. You're going to draft a guard in you draft a guard when you have Andrew Luck. The Bills don't know what they have at quarterback. You don't draft Quentin Nelson. It was not even it was considered Quentin Nelson and everybody else. That was the offensive line class. Quentin Nelson's an amazing player who would be drafted in the top 10, maybe, depending on who's around him, because he's a guard, so that's a devalued position. But still, you can get street free agents that play better. I mean, I feel bad saying that, but he did not play well. And it just pisses me off that I don't like to see the Bills get their ass handed to them and be weak. And it's just like, how many times I have to go out there, I have to sit here like the rest of you do and watch them just get bullied around the fucking field. I mean, bullied. They were bullied out there. Like defensively a little bit at the beginning of the game. They settled down. Like I said, Tremaine flashed a lot, and I love that. Like, you saw the running. You saw the forced fumble. There was a couple of plays where he just ran the guy down. The guy was going nowhere. And then they started making some plays on the back end. Once they started making Flacco move in the pocket, they started getting him off the spot. He got less accurate. But the defense never had a chance to chill on the sideline more than a minute because the offense was going 3 and out or turning the ball over and putting them. The opposing offense is first and goal on your 1. The offense is first and goal on your 10 2 times. What can you do? What can you do? The team had to make concessions. They had to go out there and say, hey, we can't have this to have this. You can't rob Peter to pay Paul. You can't have a receiver and get the franchise quarterback too. You can't have the receiver because name me the big time receivers in this past draft class, guys. Where's the big time receivers? I can tell you, Calvin Ridley didn't make a fucking play on Monday Night Football with Matt Ryan. My shit's frozen. DJ Moore played for the Panthers. I didn't see him make a play today. He was the first wide. It's Eric. It's too much dead money. There's $55 million. The next closest team has $25 million. The Bills have 55. That's $30 million more. That's Doug fucking Whaley's mess. Russ Brandon. They're still paying for that shit. That shit didn't go away. Just because those guys aren't there doesn't mean they're still not paying for their bullshit. Restructuring contracts. When you restructure somebody's contract, all you do is push money up the pipe. So when you cut that guy, he still counts on your books. The Cowboys are still paying Tony Romo. They're still going to pay Tony Romo next year. Like he counts like $12 million on their cap. Yeah, building a 7-9 bully. That's what all out of Charles Clay. They gave McCoy a contract extension they didn't need to. They did it to make him happy because they felt like he didn't want to come to Buffalo and he would have been pissy. So remember they gave him a bigger deal? Tyrod. They had to redo Tyrod's deal 3 times. They signed him. They signed him to another contract to say, oh, we found our franchise quarterback. He was the franchise quarterback, and then they were going to cut him, and then he restructured his contract to stay. Yeah, dude, Incognito needs to go to a mental institution. I'm sorry to say that, but he doesn't need to be on the football field. He's a very good football player, but the guy clearly is not on his medication. I don't know what type of I don't think they want that around the locker room. The Bears are about to score here. Yep, Mitchell Trubisky runs in. Touchdown. Wow. Good shit. I'd like to see that. He had to suffer his rookie year. 7 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Remember Carson Wentz? He only threw 14 touchdowns, like 10 interceptions. Come on. You go out there, you go. You put him in. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. No bullshit. Let's not fart around. They farted around with Mike Glennon. They paid a lot of money to Mike Glennon. They saw, this guy fucking sucks. Let's just take that. We drafted this quarterback in the first round. Let's start him. That's what you do. 18 viewers in here. I've had as high as 20. I really appreciate you guys, man. You guys are fucking awesome. Thanks for sticking in here with me this long. I'm almost in here 2 hours with you guys, and you guys are still here talking with me. I really, really appreciate this. I can't express to you. This is more valuable than money. This is what being a fan is to me. This is the reward for me, is getting to interact with other fans. No matter how we feel, we could feel great after a Bills win together. We can feel shitty after a terrible Bills loss together. This is what it's about for me. And that's why, that's what, this is the reward for me. Not, making any, trying to make myself out to be more than I am. I'm just a fan like you guys. Exactly, Eric. They drafted their QB. Their second year, they were able to surround him with weapons. Their second year, they went out and got pieces for him, better pieces, offensive line pieces, wide receiver pieces. In their second year, they had terrible wide receivers last year, as I recall. So look what the Chiefs did for Mahomes. They went out and, they gave Watkins the money. They already had Hunt and Hill in place and Travis Kelce. So they had pieces in place already to slot him in there. And plus, they had a very established starter. They could chill Mahomes behind. The Bills don't have an Alex Smith. They don't have an Alex Smith. So they don't have that luxury. Now, if they want to go out and sign a veteran off the street, fine. I don't give a shit. But I know I don't want to see Nathan Peterman start another game for the Bills. That's it. If he's forced in due to injury or something like that, so be it. But I don't want to see them make the decision to play him, because that's embarrassing. You're saying we want this guy to play. That's what you're saying. If you sit him for your first round prize possession, you're saying, okay, this is about him. You sit there and please, we don't want to see you play. That's it. We tried to give you the job. The Bills have tried to give Nathan Peterman a starting job 2 times, and he has taken it, went to the toilet with it, shit on it, handed it to us and said, here, look at the big shit I did with the job I was given. Terrible. No, you don't do that a third time. What do they say? First time, shame on you. Second time, was it first time, shame on you. Second time, shame on me. The third time, you're a fucking idiot. I think he's embarrassed. I think McDermott has allowed Peterman to embarrass him enough. You know what I mean? I think he has. I think, yeah. I was watching the Billy Brown clip today. I felt like Billy Brown myself. I'm like here in front of Mickey Rourke, and he's telling me what an asshole I am for making the bet that I never should have made. If he doesn't have the confidence, dude, he doesn't need to be in the league. Now, Corey Glennon's with Arizona. If Peterman's confidence is shot, that's on him. I'm not a psychologist. We're not babysitters here. It's the National Football League here. It's big boy football. You got the balls to play big ball, or you know what? You don't play ball. That's it. You got to have big balls, big confidence. You're going to get kicked in your ass. You're going to get your ass whipped, but you got to go back out there and play the next down. You can't just sit there, lick your wounds, and say, woe is me. He can't come into the chat room and tell us how sorry we feel for him, because we don't feel sorry for him. We don't feel sorry for him. He's a big boy. This is his chosen profession. Nathan Peterman has chosen to be an NFL quarterback, or try to be, and he has failed miserably at it. That's it. The epitaph of his career has been written. Diggs re-signed. He re-signed with Minnesota. Damager. Yeah, I think that was Eddie Goldman. Just did he recover that? No, that was Akeem Hicks. There's a guy they signed to a big contract extension, and not at this rate. Not at this rate. I mean, they don't have the money. Ooh, Graham just got hit low. See, I'd much rather see these DBs try to hit these guys at the shoulders than go at their knees. That scares the hell out of me. I hate what the league's done to this game. They've turned it into they've really, really weakened this game. You've tried to take the teeth out of it. It's really pissed me off. I wouldn't re-sign EJ. I don't re-sign any of those type of. I try to bring a veteran in here. Like if the Bills are going to sign a veteran, I try to go for a Matt Moore type, a Derek Anderson type. That's somebody Allen can lean on and learn something from. Peterman doesn't know any more than Allen does. And they change the rules every year, Eric. This is the problem. It's a full-speed game you're trying to change the rules for every year. Oh, that was beautiful. Vintage Aaron Rodgers. Montgomery might be gone. Oh, there's a flag. Fuck. Who's the flag on? I think it's on the Packers. Oh, yep, it's on the Packers. Fuck. But they need to get this kid in there, get him the reps, say, you're our starter. Let's go forward with this. And we need to stop. This is what they need to say behind closed doors. They don't need to come out and say this to the media. But if this is what they do, this is what they're saying behind closed doors. Look, we need to get the ball moving on this and stop messing around with this guy, because he's clearly not cut out to play the position in the league, or just play the position good enough where we can even stay in a game. The Bills can't even stay in a game with Nathan Peterman. They were able to do it in a monsoon of a snowstorm against a very bad football team like the Colts. But when you face better competition, like, the Chargers and the Ravens, who aren't the best teams in the league by far, they got destroyed. Destroyed. It wasn't even close. You can't allow for that a third time. You can't do it. You can't have a game end before halftime again under Nathan Peterman. If it does under Allen, you can live with it. He's your first-round rookie. He's the guy you traded up for. He's the guy that's supposed to be the savior coming. He's supposed to be the guy that's coming to save you. Nathan Peterman is nothing. He's not even a blip on the radar. He's a wet fart in wintertime. That's about it. I mean, those offensive players, I mean, you run a few routes after a while and you see, the ball's coming out like a duck, or they're just not throwing to you. Those routes start to get a little lazy. You start to stop caring as much. You start, this guy's back there taking another sack, or he's throwing another interception. The ball's not getting here on time. I'm not going to run as hard as a route. McDermott, I noticed he was late coming out to talk to the media. He must have really ripped him a new asshole. You have to believe he let that fucking team hear it at the end of that game. Halftime and at the end of the game, you have to believe he let them just get to hear it because it was so embarrassing. It was beyond embarrassing. And I can't imagine that. How could any of those guys hold their head up with any pride after that? I don't know how they could. I mean, I know Peterman was on the sideline with his helmet on and stuff. He was fuck. I know he knows he played like shit. He knows he played like shit. You think he can get mad? You think he can get mad if McDermott comes in and says you're not starting? You think he has no leg to stand on? He doesn't have a leg to stand on. Like, he can't say anything. Like, he couldn't get pissed. He couldn't say, "Oh, I did what I could. I played as well as I." He has nothing. He has no recourse. He has nothing. I went out there and I threw in my 2 starts. I've thrown 7 interceptions. I've thrown 7 interceptions and 1 touchdown in my 3 starts. I mean, he threw the 1 touchdown at the end of the half, but in his 3 starts combined, I've thrown 2 touchdowns and 7 interceptions, and I haven't finished a game. So, yeah. Well, the games he started in, he's thrown the 1 touchdown. In the end of the Saints game, you're right, Eric. He threw the garbage touchdown late. And that's just terrible. Did he have 70? No, they only had like 33 yards at the half. They had 33 yards at the end of the half and no first downs. They didn't have the 76 yards, or is that combined with Peterman as starter in the Chargers in this game? Because I believe that. I know McCoy had the 1 long touchdown run in San Diego, but outside of that, and the touchdown to Benjamin, those are the only 2 touchdown drives he has as a starter, and he doesn't have a long resume. But today was are you sure? I don't think it was 77. I think it was 33, because I remember at halftime it said 33 yards clearly. That's how bad it was, and no first downs. Was this the worst Bills opener? It was bad, man. The one in 12 was bad too, because there was a lot of optimism. They had just signed Mario Williams. Maybe Fitzpatrick was healthy off the broken rib. Fred Jackson was back. Maybe they were gonna, and stuff. And then Fitzpatrick went out there, threw a bunch of interceptions, and the team was terrible. Look, Trubisky making a play, throwing it up for Robinson, going up and getting it. That's what you do. 50-50 ball. He gave it to him on the back shoulder beautifully. That's why you let your rookie quarterback play. So in his second year, or maybe even later in his first year, he has the confidence that he can throw that ball. And maybe with this guy's arm strength, he's still running. He could run right under it. When do we see the Bills? Can I ask you guys a question quick? If you're watching this Packers-Bears game, which a lot of you are, 22 people in here, thank you all so much. I personally thank all of you, and I mean that. If you know me, you know I'm a real person. No bullshit. You meet me in person. You see me on social media. This is the same me you get all the time, 24/7 live and living color. When's the last time we've seen a Bills receiver quarterback make that play? When is the last time we've seen a Bills receiver quarterback, like we've seen that beautiful play back over the? When have we seen it? I can't remember the last time a Bills quarterback and receiver made that throw. See, Peter, those were his stats today. Look at his stats, everybody. Timothy just put his stats. 27% completion, 24 yards. That's like, you know what that's like? That's like a little kid, like a little 4-year-old who picks up Madden and starts playing with it and doesn't know the controls and he accidentally completes a pass or two, but he gets the shit kicked out of him by like a slightly better player, it doesn't take much to beat him. That's what those stats look like. Like if you take any quarterback, like the little boy is playing with like the Patriots, and he doesn't know A, B, button or the X button on Xbox. He just presses buttons because that's what little kids do. Yeah, it's true. That's what he does. He would have the controller, and the little boy would be playing because they want to play. Like the little kids, they want to play, so you give it to them so they'd be quiet when they're over your house or something. Their relatives' kids. And that's what they do. They just play the game to play it. At this point, starting Peterman again would be exactly. That's my point. It's like you already are starting the game in the hole. You're already putting your offense and your defense in a bind by starting him, because I don't think, honestly, at this point he instills any confidence in the football team, the other offensive players. I don't think. How could the coaches have any confidence in Nathan Peterman? Honestly, how can any of those coaches go out there with any confidence in Nathan Peterman? I don't see how they could do it. I really don't. Oh, is this another touchdown? Oh, shit. I thought that was going to be another touchdown. Again, I feel bad for you guys. I mean, Kelly to me, as the Bills quarterback, is a god, because he was the one quarterback, like I've told this story my whole life. The second Bills game I watched as a Bills fan in 1989, as a 9-year-old kid, like I had just watched the Bills win, was a Sunday Night Football against the Dolphins in Miami. Kelly runs in for the touchdown, they win. And then the second game, it's in Houston, where Kelly throws for like 380 yards and 5 touchdowns. Moon threw for like 300 yards and a couple of touchdowns, but the game was like 47-40 or 44-47, and the Bills won. That was my experience right away as a Bills fan, and that's the kind of quarterback play I would see on a basis that was pretty standard for that. And when have we seen a Bills? I mean, that was 1989. When's the last time we've seen a Bills quarterback throw for 380 and 5 touchdowns? Yeah, I mean, and the next year's draft has a ton of good receivers, ton of good offensive linemen. I'll put a database in the room for you guys. You can start looking at prospects if you want to see it. You want me to put it in the room? I'll put it in for you. Here we go. I'm going to put the Google spreadsheet. It gets updated regularly, okay? It was updated today. You guys want it? That your first game was the Super Bowl game? Mine was the previous year. Yes, we should go back to the red helmets, Neil. All right. Yeah, that was 90. Again, Nick Bosa is the best prospect in the draft right now. So if they draft now, if the season ended now, and let's just say if they do it like soccer, point differential, goal differential, the Bills would draft first because they get their shit pushed in today. That would be Nick Bosa. That would be it. That's who they line wise. There's Greg Little. There's Jonah Williams. They try to, would you want to see them trade? Let's just say a team that wanted a quarterback. Exactly, Damager. If a quarterback wanted to trade, we'll give you 2 first-round picks and a bunch of mids for the first overall. I would do that because this team has a lot of needs. Shaq Lawson is just – he's a very average player. Let's just be real about him. This is his 3rd in the league. He's a very average player. Don't even say it, Neil. I'll puke. I'll throw up. I really will. It looks terrible today, guys, but I don't think the team is this bad. They might not be a good football team this year, but I don't think they're this bad. I don't think they're this bad. I think it's never as bad as it seems or good as it seems. I think it's somewhere in the middle and just trying to decompress from it all. I don't think they're as bad as they showed. I don't think they're world beaters either by any means. This game brought us all down to earth and gave us a reality check today. But, you know, I'll stand firm on the Bills starting Allen. I'll stand firm. That's what I want to see. And that's all I'm interested in seeing this whole season. If they happen to get the first overall pick, I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain. Because that means you're getting the first overall pick in the rest of the rounds. And you have the pecking order. You have the hammer in each of the rounds. And I want the hammer. I want the Bills for once, even if it's in the fucking draft, to have the hammer and swing it. You know? Swing it. So if you guys got that link, let me know what you think of it. It's a pretty nice spreadsheet. It looks they could be one of the worst 3 teams in football. They could be. Whose career is that, Eric? Peterman? If you're talking about Peterman, his career might be over. Like I would probably say that the story of his career is written, and it would be foolhardy to ever put him in a position to embarrass you again unless it's absolutely necessary. I mean, there's again Corey, has been great in here, has been chatting it up, and I appreciate him. He tries his best. He's a big fan, like us, and we're just searching for answers. But yeah, I think his career is probably done. You don't want to give him a chance to embarrass the Bills organization, anything he already has. It's so stupid. This is a complete digression from this conversation. My dream is not to go to one of their football games more than it is to work out in the new facility that they're going to get. How pathetic is that? Like, I would ask them, can I work out in your weight room just once to say that I did? I can go to a game anytime, but to say I worked out in the room the rest of the players did, that would be fucking awesome. I think. Sounds corny, but yeah. Next year is going to be I don't know what they can do in terms of free agents. I don't know what they can do in terms of the draft on this day, September 9th. Over half a year away. But my God, today seemed like, man, did we want the draft to come fast or what? I can't even listen to WGR tomorrow because it's going to be like a mess. People are going to be calling and just totally going crazy. Unless you sign a veteran. Unless you sign a veteran, man. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a sad day. It's like, Chris, it's terrible. It's like this is what you're left with when the team puts on such a bad showing like that. That's what you're thinking about. It's like, how bad could they be? Yeah, they'll have a shit ton of room lost. They'll have a shit ton of room. Well over close to 100. If it's not 100 million, it's close to it. And then again, I've said this before. Like, I've repeated a lot of things in this 2 hours. How glad are you guys they still have their first round pick? Like, really, like, how glad are you that they still have their first round pick next year and they didn't trade it away? Like, today, I am more grateful for that than anything. I am also grateful that they have a rookie quarterback they can try to find out about on their roster, as opposed to like Tyrod Taylor's the quarterback and he's not what he is. He's not that good. I hope you're not serious about this. He talks like he knows it all. He's a good guy, though, but he doesn't know it all. Yeah, I'm real glad, too, man. Yeah, they didn't look like they practiced all year. They looked unprepared. Every team makes personnel mistakes. They need to start making a lot more hits than and again, Damager said it much earlier in here about everything that they do is about Allen. You know, it's hard. I'm glad I don't drink, right? I don't drink. I'm lame. I'm boring. I don't smoke weed. I'm lame. I'm boring. I know I have nothing against people who do. Either or. I don't mind use. I mind abuse. But whatever you do is cool as long, you guys all seem like highly productive members of society. You guys all have your head on straight. So you guys are good. Whatever you choose to do to relax. Like if I had a bag of weed, I'd probably be smoking through the gills right now. That's how the Bills make me feel. And I'd probably have like 2 bottles of fucking, like 1 bottle of goddamn Chivas Regal and another bottle of fucking really good vodka with some fucking orange juice. But yeah, Mike, it's Allen's development. Build around him next offseason. Exactly. Case closed. Objective for 2018. Build on rookie quarterback. Experience, growth, etc., etc. End of fucking story. You seem like you're more in fitness than sex. No, I don't drink or party, man. Like I honestly, like I'm not even a big womanizer. Like I'm not. That shit makes you old and tired. Like you have a lot of women coming and going in your life. It's a lot of fucking stress you don't want to deal with, man. I've seen it. It really is. Water, dude. Water and sleep. I'm 40 years old, man. Like, honestly, I'll tell you, the secret is not sex appeal. It's water, sleep, trying to live like a calm life. You have to eat well. You do have to exercise. Don't get me wrong. You don't have to kill yourself, but a lot of it is in just little details. I can't get on Instagram and sell people water and sleep. I can't do it. I can't do it. I have meat. Those of you who follow me on Instagram, you see I have like burgers and steaks and shit like that. You know what I mean? I eat ice cream and stuff, but I don't drink, so that's a personal choice. I don't do like some other things. There's nothing against that. I know people who drink and occasionally smoke weed, and they're very fit people, and it works for them. It's just not my path. That's all. There's nothing wrong with that. I did have chicken today, though. It's funny you mentioned it. I did have chicken and vegetables today because I'm sitting down a lot when I watch Bills football. There's not a lot of activity going on, so when I don't have a lot of activity, I tend to eat lighter, as opposed to like days I'm going to be more active. I'll eat a little bit more, particularly in the morning, because that's my biggest load of the day is in the morning, and the meals they'll get less and less as the day goes on. Yes, everything I make myself. I prepare all my own food. I don't eat out. That's another thing. Like, I don't. I eat like. Yeah, if you're on my IG, I don't know your name on there, Los. I just you see me, like I don't hide my profile. I'm not some. Now, honestly, the 6 meal that's a bodybuilder's diet. I'm not a bodybuilder. There's no reason for me to consume 6 meals a day. I probably eat 3 meals a day. The biggest one being in the morning. The 2 preceding meals are much smaller meals, and then I'll probably have like a handful of snacks in between. And I do a bowl of fiber cereal, like around, if I can, no later than 7. That's my last thing I eat during the day. And I just drink a shit ton of water. That's it. I saw a post today saying they miss fits. I don't. On a day like this, like I'll tell you guys this. You saw it today, right? You saw Peterman. He shit the bed. He looked terrible. Okay. We saw Fitzpatrick, right? Nah, you don't have to do that, dude. You don't have to do that. Yeah, it's a huge money saver, man. But when I go up to Buffalo, I'm definitely gonna try pizza and wings. I have to. So I'm definitely gonna save the calories to get the to have those things. Beard secret? I don't have a beard secret. I could grow this thing when I was like 14 years old. I remember the nickname I had as a kid. My JV coaches and a lot of my Pop Warner coaches called me Babyface Finster because Babyface Finster was like the little cartoon character. He was like a baby, but he grew like facial hair and shit, was a gangster. And I had a baby face and I grew like, if I would shave, I would still have fucking like the 5 o'clock shadow like that. So I was like, fuck it, I'm just going to grow it. Like I could grow one of those long. I don't want to grow one of those things. I'm sorry, I'm talking about all myself. Yeah, like that motherfucker, like that dude. Oh man, I'm just bullshitting about myself. That's how bad the Bills were today, guys. I'm like talking about me, the most boring person in the world right now. I literally am, because the Bills were just that bad. I make the Bills. I'm exciting compared to the Bills offense, or compared to the Bills in general. Like I'm exciting. That is so bad. But back to my point today. Like we saw how bad Nate Peterman was today, right? He was terrible, god awful. Fitzpatrick goes out there. You know what I say today was? Today was the classic. That's Fitzmagic. What is Fitzmagic? Fitzmagic is a trick. It's a magic trick. He's like, ooh, look at this cool trick. But what does Fitz do? He vanishes. Fitzmagic is like Houdini. It's there 1 week. It's not there for 2. All of a sudden, next week, he'll go out there. He'll be 17 for 35. He'll throw for like 180 yards, and he'll turn over the ball 3 times, and they'll lose. That's Ryan Fitzpatrick, right? That's who he is. We've seen it. But yeah, exactly, Timothy. Next week, he'll be the one who throws 3-4 picks. Be like, what the fuck? That's Ryan Fitzpatrick. That's who he is. That's what I said. You can't get caught up on a few of those games. Then all of a sudden, yeah, exactly. Regression to the mean. He always finds his level. He always finds his level. It's so sad to say that Peterman didn't even have that opportunity. This is his level already. This is, I think, who he is. And as far as the arms go, guys, I don't even do curls or anything like that. I do a lot of body weight stuff and balance and plyometric stuff and jump rope, and I run a lot. If you follow me on Instagram, I run my ass off. And that's more my relaxing thing. Like tomorrow I'll go run. I'll try to forget about this game. Like curls and stuff like that, there's really no need for you to like bench press and curls are the 2 most worthless exercises you can do. Yeah, Peterman has reached his ceiling, and it was fucking. How high was it? It was like, or lower, higher or lower? It's pretty low. It's pretty low, guys. Man, I would take fucking Gail Gilbert's son over this. The kid that was Garrett Gilbert, the kid that was playing 3rd string quarterback for the Panthers in the game. It was that bad. It just stiffens your shoulders, Neil. It stiffens your shoulders and it makes you more thoracically stiff. And as we get older, we don't want to be thoracically stiff. We want to be flexible. And when you're flexible and you're explosive, that equals power. When are we ever going to lay on our backs and push 250, 200 pounds off of our bodies in our life? When are we ever going to have to perform that movement in a functional way? Never. Offensive linemen, defensive linemen in football sometimes need it. They need it to build up their shoulders and stuff from locking out on people. But more times than not, like the layperson like us doesn't need it. We don't need to do that exercise. I mean, if you want to like just tone this area up and do that, then that's fine, but never go heavy. I would suggest, because then you're just stiffening your shoulders and your whole like backside chain up here down through your traps, and you don't want to do that. And you always want to be careful with your shoulders too. Dips, you know, lots, you know, push-ups, pull-ups, stuff like that. What was the Bills' game plan today? I couldn't figure it out. It was take the snap and pray Peterman can complete a pass. That's what it be. It got to the point where I was watching and I was like, it was getting so ugly. Would I take 5-11 this season over a decade of contending? Why would I take 5-11 over a decade of contending? I don't understand the question, Mike. Yeah, the ceiling was in the basement, Los. It was pretty bad. Yeah, there wasn't one. There was no. Yeah, there wasn't. I want a decade of contending. I want them to be good for a big block of time, not like 1 year sputter bullshit. I mean, granted, 9-7 was fine. Breaking the drought was excellent. All that stuff. They have a lot of street credibility. They didn't come in and talk a big game. McDermott didn't come in and promise a bunch of shit. He didn't come in and say this was a playoff team. He didn't come in and say we have all the answers. Shit, he told the team himself and embedded he didn't have all the answers. If they go 2-14 and get the #1 pick, that's what they do. If they go 5-11 and get the 3rd overall pick, that's what they do. Oh, Aaron Rodgers is limping. Oh shit. Rodgers is down. Oh, Khalil Mack. He went down on his own. Oh, he's holding the back of his knee. Oh. That's weird. Isn't that weird how that happened, guys? Oh, shit. Oh, shit. Oh, the way he fell on his knee. You saw the way Robertson fell on his knee there. Buckled him. He's limping. I hope he's okay because, you know, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. You know, quarterback is so important, and you can't be scared. Aaron's not scared. You know, he'll go out there and try to play. You know, he's a tough son of a bitch. You need your quarterback to be a tough son of a bitch. Your quarterback's going to get hit. Your quarterback is going to take a pounding some games. I mean, look. We all hate Tom Brady, right, as Bills fans. But we've got to admit, that motherfucker has taken some shots, some vicious, vicious hits in his career. And he gets up and he still makes the throws. Still makes the throws. Brett Favre took some vicious hits, got up, made the throws. Aaron Rodgers, you know, he's been injured a little bit, but he gets hit, he still gets up and goes at it. You know. What's up, Brian? How are you? You're how you doing, bro? Who knows, Halo? Hope not. You know. Don't worry, Brian's not a shit talker. He's a good guy. Yeah, I want to see Allen play, Mike. I mean, we need to find out how tough he is. He might seem tough, but I want to find out how tough he is. And he can hand the ball off to shit. You could have the game plan here. 15 throws, like Trubisky's game plan last year was like 15 throws, you hand the ball off to Howard and Tyreek Cohen all fucking game. That's fine with me. Hand the ball off to Shady and fucking Murphy and 15, 20 throws all game. That's all you get. Develop. There. You want to gain your experience? Do that. No need to take no vicious hits or any bullshit like that. You can control that stuff. You can control that stuff. You put him on them because you give him the game plan. The game plan is his. It's tailored around him. There was no game plan for Allen today. It was a clusterfuck. It was just like, this guy is so bad, we have to put you in because he is just so bad. You think McDermott wanted to put Josh Allen in that game? Yes, to hell fucking no. That was his nightmare. That was McDermott's worst nightmare that he had to do that. Because if he's doing that, his team is getting itself destroyed, which it was. It was getting itself killed. There's no doubt about that. And it was embarrassing to the 10th degree. Aaron's in the 10th. So we'll see how he goes. Yeah, he fell on his knee really, really awkward. So he tried to get up and walk, but he went down. Wow, that's tough. See, when they go down on their own, yeah, that was frustrating, Timothy. There was one long play from McCoy, and he looked back, and it was a holding. It was like, Jesus Christ. I hate that about the NFL. Every time you make a good play, you have to turn your head or wait and look at the bottom of the screen to see if there's a goddamn yellow indicator on the see, like now, it's like these refs, they come out and they want to start throwing flags. It's the fucking worst. It's like you can't relax and watch a game. And maybe there's the occasional flag or whatever like that. You have to sit and like pray to God like every 10 seconds that your guys are just not getting. Where's the flag here? I've seen way worse than that. Way worse. MMA? I don't know. The way the sport's gone, Brian, I'm kind of like disenchanted. I thought that was going to be an interception, guys. So they better pray to God he's hurt. He's not hurt in that tent, because if he is there, imagine losing Aaron Rodgers in the first game of the year, and you know Aaron Rodgers is as good as he is, and you're going to lose him first game of the year. That sucks. See, that's worse than what the Bills are going through right now. Imagine that if that guy could win you a Super Bowl. Imagine you have a quarterback that could win you a Super Bowl and he's hurt in the first game of the year. Oh, Trubisky. Nice scramble. Tried to hesitate, do like a little stutter, but he didn't get it off. Yeah, man. I'm good. It's therapeutic. I tried, dude. It's tough, man. It's tough. Like, I mean, what game? I think he got hurt. It was like the 7th or 8th game damage. I think he got hurt in the 7th or 8th. Oh, look at the Kaiser's warming up. Oh, shit. Kaiser's warming up. This is bad, man. They better hope the Bears get a first down to try to keep the offense on the field, or maybe they can get into half down 10-0 and they could find out more about his injury. The place doesn't look too bad, right? It's kind of similar. It's similar to the old one. It's a little more modern and stuff, but you know, I'm getting used to it. Hardwood floors are nice. So yeah, he is the Packers. The Bills need Allen to be the Bills. Or, you know, that's what they need. That's the mark of any good football team. Great football team is the Brady is the Patriots. You know, so it's a tough deal if he's out. So, I mean, I don't know if you guys want me to keep going or not. I'm probably going to jump off of here soon. I've been wasting enough of your guys' time. I appreciate you guys talking with me for so long. There's been upwards of 23 people in here at a time talking, trying to get through this tough-ass day because it was such a disappointment. You wait. I mean, end of the year for the Bills last year was, what, January 3rd? January something? The playoff game was played, and then you wait, almost a whole year, three-quarter, that long, and that's what you end up getting. It's like you wait 3/4 of a year pretty much, and you get a handful of shit. It sucks. It really sucks. Today was not fun. So thanks, guys. Yeah. Oh shit, they are going for it. Let's see if they get it, Eric, real quick before I sign off. Nope, they got him. Big stop. Wow. Whoa. Big stop. But yeah, you guys can find me like on Instagram and shit. I'm always on there. You guys see me on Twitter all the time talking shit, and Snapchat, all those places. Same deal, Vicious155. So take care, guys. Enjoy the rest of Sunday Night Football. Yeah, that game was weird, man. All the suspensions and stuff like that. Yeah, the Bills need talent, man. They need some talent. They need to be able to have the money to spend to get some of the talent, and they need to hit on some of the draft picks, and they need to find out if Josh Allen is that guy. And on that note, guys, I'm going to peace out. Take care. Hopefully tomorrow we see that Josh Allen is starting quarterback for the rest of the year. That's what he needs to do. He doesn't need to say for the San Diego game. He needs to announce Josh Allen is starting quarterback for the rest of the year. Then we're just going to move forward with Josh Allen. That's it. Thanks, Timothy. I appreciate it, bro. Bunch of great people in here. All you guys. I mean, I'm going to go through all your names. Damager, Eric, Corey, Neil, Timothy, like all you guys. Biz, Mike was in here talking. Los was in here talking for a while. Chris, shit, I can just keep going on and on. The thing was in the chat that I put. So I really appreciate all you guys for sticking in here as long as you did, and talking with me. Thanks so much, guys. Have a good night. Take care. Maybe we'll have something better to talk about next week, something exciting. Maybe even if they lose, maybe Allen looks good. We have something fun to talk about. But we just got to find out if he's starting, man. Take care, guys.